What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. And right now I want to talk about Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 2. I've loved Cobra Kai. Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I thought were all great. I know some people felt that it was kind of running out of steam at 5. I still thought 5 was great. But here's the problem. I thought Season 6 Part 1 was by far the weakest batch of episodes that Cobra Kai has ever done. And part of that is definitely because I feel like they wrapped up all the stories that we cared about at the end of Season 5. So now in Season 6, they're kind of rehashing a lot of the stuff we've already been through. Rehashing some of the dynamics between Miguel and Robbie. Rehashing some of the dynamics between Johnny and Daniel. How many times can Johnny and Daniel sort things out and then find out they can't work together again? It's getting a little redundant and repetitive. How many times can Kreese and Silver evade the law and find themselves in positions of authority again? It's getting a little repetitive. And I will say that Season 6 Part 1 is still the worst batch of episodes that Cobra Kai has done, because Part 2 was a lot better. Now, that's probably because Part 2 did a few things right that I really liked. Part 2, number 1, had a lot of action in it and a lot of cool fight scenes. Introduced some new characters. The Iron Dragon, really kind of a new villain in the series. And Zara, I've learned a lot about the actress that plays Zara. World-renowned martial artist. Really cool character. Really cool villain. You know, a nice counterpoint to Tori. You know, they've had a bit of a rivalry and a nice counterpoint to her. Speaking of Tori, I really like some of the decisions they made with Tori in this batch of episodes. They didn't make the Miyagi-Do people just turn on her, right? That would have felt out of character, I think. I think that the way they handled it was right, saying, hey, you know, we understand why you went to Cobra Kai. We don't like it. We don't approve. But we understand, and, you know, when you're ready to come back to us, we're here. More or less what they said, and I really felt that that was the right way to approach this. They weren't ostracizing to her. They weren't making her the other. They were just simply saying, hey, we can't go along with you, and we don't even know how much we can support this. But when you're done doing what you're doing there, we can keep our friendship going. Right way to handle it, and it really made Miyagi-Do seem even more like the good guys, right? Speaking of Miyagi-Do, they had a rough go about it in the first part of the Sekai Taikai. They weren't winning a lot, and I think that was another right way to handle things, right? If this dojo from the United States were to go into this world tournament for the first time and just start mopping the floor with everybody, I think that would have felt unauthentic. So they are facing adversity, and they are having their share of losses along the way. They're able to eke out some victories, also just enough victories to keep them in. But they're able to, they're able to show that, you know, Miyagi-Do is not infallible. I don't mind the Kreese storyline. I'm good with it. The Silver storyline, I was hoping that they would bring him back, and I'm glad that they brought him back. But again, it just kind of feels like we're rehashing now. He's going out and buying another dojo. When they first find him, we see him in a flashback when he first encounters the sensei of the Iron Dragons. You know, he's drunk and he's like, oh, I got beat. What am I gonna do next? It's stuff that we've seen between him and Kreese. We've seen these plot points play out before. So it is all feeling a little repetitive. And even the final fight at the end of the 10th episode, episode 5 of this bunch, even the final fight, while the final fight was a lot of fun, it was action-packed, enjoyed watching it, it also felt a little repetitive. We've seen big brawls like this before at the LaRusso house, at the school. You know, we've seen big brawls like this play out before, and some of the tension that was being developed, especially tension between Quan and the Iron Dragon kid. What was his name? Axel, I think. Axel Alexi, something like that. But even the tension between the two of them, who's going to win? Who's going to win? That tension was destroyed when the Russian sensei comes out and punches the tournament coordinator. So the tension was something, a fight we were really invested in was destroyed so we could have this big all-out brawl, something we've seen plenty of times now. So, like I said, it was fun. It just wasn't this intimate moment of who's going to win between these two. And ultimately, we do see the resolution of that, and the resolution of that, unfortunately, is in what appears to be the death of Quan. So, the stakes have been raised. When I first watched this batch of episodes, it was the day it came out, on the same day as the Tyson Paul fight. When I first saw this batch of episodes, I tweeted, not tweeted, but I put out on my social media, Cobra Kai raised the stakes. Someone, a character under the age of 18 has died. That's a natural progression of what's been happening in these 6 seasons. Eventually, one of these kids was going to get seriously hurt or dead. And they raised the stakes, and that's good that they raised the stakes. But where do they go from here? That's one of my big questions now is what's next? How is this tournament going to continue? Daniel's storyline felt kind of superfluous. I don't feel like we know anything more about Miyagi than we did when this batch of episodes started, and it just kind of was a storyline that was just kind of going through the motions. And I suspect there'll be a big payoff on this storyline in the third batch of episodes. I suspect that we're going to learn that Miyagi killing someone in the Sekai Taikai is the reason why he adopted his no violence, no tournaments, all that. But again, these are things we already know about Miyagi. So, did we really need this storyline? I'm not hating it by any means, but did we really need it? That's the question. So, this is season 6 so far has been the weakest part of Cobra Kai. But the second batch of episodes was significantly stronger than the first batch. So I'm hoping that Cobra Kai can stick the landing with the last 5 episodes, really give us an epic conclusion to this fantastic, phenomenal series. And guys, I can't stress that enough. I've loved Cobra Kai. And I've liked season 6. It's just been the weakest. But all that can go away. And if they can stick the landing and have a great ending, the ending that these characters deserve. So that's what I'm hoping for, guys. What did you think of Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there commenting, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.